long, long time, and we were just talking about it, and I thought it was 9 years, and you said it was 7 years ago that you were nice enough to contact us and ask about an interview, and I really wanted to talk with you because I knew of you and was eager to talk about whatever, and 7 years later, here we are.
I would really like to go back to your childhood and just kind of start and go back and find out a little bit about how you were raised and how you got into this business.
Oh boy,
no?
I wasn't counting on this, Fred.
Well, let's try this.
All right, let's try it.
Okay, so when you were growing up, were you like the class clown?
No, I wasn't. I was, and it's sort of funny. I kind of see it now a little bit in my son, where he's aloof. He's a little shy, and that's sort of how I was. It took me quite a while to feel comfortable around classmates and neighbors, and then I would sort of choose my own little group of friends, but never as outgoing as a person probably ought to be to have this job.
How did you get into the television part of it?
Well, it was I entered the Junior Miss Contest in Indianapolis, and I came in third, and they said, well, we got a deal for you. I love this part of the story because it emphasizes the importance of people being nice to you in your life. And it cements something that you'll never forget, and hopefully, having that in place, you'll pass it on. A friend of mine's brother worked at the ABC affiliate in Indianapolis, and they were looking for like a summer relief announcer. And I was in college. I was a freshman at Ball State University, and so he said, "Hey, they're auditioning. Come down. My brother will take a look at you." And I went down and had never been inside a television station before, and really just out of kindness, my friend's brother suggested that they hire me. And they said, sure, he's going to be working all night and on weekends, and nobody will see him or he won't cause much trouble, so they gave me the job. And I really believe that was pivotal. I mean, if that hadn't happened, I wasn't going to get a job anywhere, because I had no experience and I wasn't very good, and just a kid. And so because of the guy's name was Dick Norris, who ended up spending the rest of his life in Arizona working in television there. If it hadn't been for him, I never would have gotten into this. I would have tried, probably, but I don't think I would have had the same luck that I've had.
The weather part of it, did that interest you, or just something?
No, it was just something to do. In those days, it was not as a central part of the newscast. Now it's a wholly, as you know, produced a segment, and in your part of the world, certainly, people really rely on it. Farmers and ranchers really need to know that information. But it was kind of a throwaway, and they just let me start in on weekends, and then I would fill in whenever the Monday through Friday guy was drunk. I would get to go in and do the weather then. But it was, I just would rip it off the wire. And I can remember one night, it was like a Wednesday night, and I was doing the 6 o'clock news and talking about the weather and the forecast and this and that and this and that, and everything was pretty good, and it's going to be clear and sunny, and I took the microphone off after the segment, went out into the lobby, and we were in the middle of this 90-minute hailstorm that I just had no idea what was happening. I was 5 feet away from a window telling everybody it was sunny and clear. Meanwhile, the station was nearly lifted off its foundation. I didn't know.
Was that the time that you said something about the canned ham?
Well, no, that was the time when I was actually aware that there was a hailstorm. This was when I was completely unaware about a hailstorm, and I said, yeah, there's hailstones coming down the size of canned hams. And in those days, Fred, I thought that was tremendously funny.
I think it's funny, too.
I just thought you can't do any better than that.
Did you get terminated over that?
No. I didn't actually. I got fired from a job in radio, but I didn't get fired from my television job. I had worked there 5 or 6 years. I started in 69, 68 or so, and just got tired of it because most of it was, in those days, they had a staff announcer, and you would sit in an announce booth and you would have to monitor the telecast all day long, and on a log physically write in the commercials that you saw and keep the times and the sign on and the sign off. And it was exciting for about a year, and then it was less and less exciting. So I left to take a radio job, but I should have been fired, but I never was there, no.
So when you look back at all of that and what's happened to you today, this wasn't all a part of a master plan? Was it just
No,
being in the
not
right
part of the
place?
master plan. I've been tremendously lucky because when I was about 18 or so, 17 or 18, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I had no idea how you did it. I think, for better or for worse, when I was snooping around in television and radio, it was maybe a little more difficult. You had to be pretty good to get onto television. Not that I was, but now it seems like there are easier routes and maybe more openings to get into television. But I was lucky enough in high school to discover what I really enjoyed, which was kind of public speaking. And I thought, how can I turn this enjoyment into a job? And the logical step then was radio, and then after that, television. But we've both known people who, as adults and middle-aged, aren't even quite sure what they want to do in life. And I was lucky enough to know really early on and have worked in broadcasting pretty much since I was 20 years old. So I feel like, right there, I'm ahead of the game.